So we're back for episode 3 after our first round washout with at first round washout at Australia. There we go. I remembered how to do words. That's a good time. So coming up next, we've got Dubai. There have been no updates to the car, no new drivers, no new anything really. The biggest changes have been I've done some part improvements. We've got new front wings that we're just improving on the reliability of, so we can put them on the car. We've got a new rear wing that we're improving on the reliability of, so we can put that on the car. I'm currently working on a new gearbox, and then I'm going to work on another rear wing and another gearbox. Sorry, another rear wing. I've done a rear wing and I've done brakes. Sorry, my brain is not in right now. But yeah, that's kind of how things are going to work. So add that just so I know that I can maybe start having that somewhere near ready some point soon. Yes, that's going to be it. We are going to make our way to Dubai. We are, as always, going to go with the all-in sponsorship for 15th or above. Tyre selection as auto pick. That seems about the right level of something or other. And there's no new parts to there are new parts to fit, but they're not going to get us very far, so we're not going to fit them. So as per usual, we are going to completely skip practice. We're going to go straight into qualifying. As you can see, this is kind of a medium speed corner, good mix of power and precision, so we might struggle here. We're not the best on power, we're not the best on precision, but we're nowhere near the best on either. But we'll see how this goes. I'm going to run practice and we'll be back in just a moment. So here we are for qualifying, and your first thing you'll notice is I've got the tyres we've used in practice. I'm using them for the first run in qualifying. We're not expecting any rain, so I just want to contribute a little bit to the track grip with the first run, and then we'll go out for a more serious qualifying run later on. We've done quite badly in practice, so yeah, but the setups are as close to perfect as we're going to get them. And that's kind of the key here, I think. Lay down some rubber, see if we can, at the very least, build up the track grip so we can have another go later on. So let's speed through this, because I don't think it's going to make a great deal of waves. We're not going to make many waves with our first flying lap. We'll see how it goes, see if we can get at least above Nico Hulkenberg. I'd be very surprised if either of our drivers gets above Nico Hulkenberg. It's going to be Kubica, if anything, because of the tyres he's on. But no, there we go. That was what I expected from the first lap, if I'm honest. And now we can wait for the grip to go up. It's going to build rapidly, as you can see. And hope we can find another lap towards the end of quali. I'm going to go with about 2 minutes to go, I think, and hopefully smash out a really good lap. In fact, let's send out. It's too late now to send out them out for 2 more laps. We're just going to go for 1 more flying lap and really, really hope we bring this home. Yeah, it's kind of a tough one, this, because I know that our car is well off the pace. This requires a lot of speed, this track. Even having one driver in Q2 would be very good for us. Let's send him out on the super softs now, and then we'll send out Robert Kubica on the super softs. Let's just let George Russell get out of the pits before we do that, or towards the end of the pit lane. Because if we don't, then I feel like there's going to be too big a gap. I am very aware there's a car about to come through on a flyer too, so let's do that and hope we can get something out of Robert Kubica today. Not overly expecting much from Kubica. He is well off the pace. He's certainly not the driver he used to be in real life, and he's definitely not the driver he used to be on the game either. So we need to hope he has a really good lap for him. Even if he can just pull himself off the back row, that would be ideal as far as qualifying goes. But George Russell should be able to better his first lap on a set of brand new supers. I very much hope so, at least. Just going through to complete his opening lap now, so let's see how this goes. There we go. We've got a good tyre and brake temps. That should be a good start. Hopefully Kubica's overheated his brakes, but his tyres are perfect. We'll see how this goes. Come on, George Russell through on the flying lap. We're looking at the first sector somewhere around 40 seconds into the lap, I think, so we'll see where that goes. Want to see big improvements from both drivers first sector. I'm not expecting purples. We've got a green there, that's good. 0.4 would put us 7th. Should put us somewhere around 7th or 8th, I think, if we can hold the station there. But we need George Russell to come through now with sector 2, sector 2.7. That will put us in 13th. That will keep him solidly through. Kubica, where's he going to drop? Kubica, he could make the final 15 too. That would be good for him. We're not going to see any rain this weekend, so that's fine. George Russell, what's he coming up with his final pass? Can he make it an improvement? He doesn't improve his time. What about Robert Kubica? What's Robert Kubica going to offer? Any improvement at all? Kubica goes 17th, which at least, like I said, takes him off the back row of the grid. George Russell makes it through to Q2 though again, and that's a good performance from us. As long as we can get a driver into Q2, I'm happy. So we've lost Danny Kvyat, who I would expect to improve from there again. I think he finished finished 6th or 7th last time. Lance Stroll there, Alex Albon's out, and Giovinazzi doesn't make it through this time. So Alphas and Toro Rossos and Racing Points are there. Sergio Perez had a good first qualifying though, so we'll see how this goes. Into Q2, and I'd like to see George do well. We've reached our qualifying objective. That's a guaranteed. We're going to do another sighter lap just to lay a bit more rubber down. We should be hitting maximum grip somewhere in the middle of the session. So that's what we're looking for, really, just to build up that maximum track grip. I'll get as many laps out of George as I can, I think, in this quali. Because we're not going to make it to Q3, I would think. But it's not impossible. We come in 0.7 below Vettel, 0.1 below Leclerc. That's okay. That's not too bad. Top 10, top 11. Now we'll go on fresh tyres. See if we can get an improvement from George on that one. And we should get a third run in just about. Just about. We are at maximum grip now. He's overheated the brakes, but we'll see how the flyer goes. Coming through is slower in Q1, in sector 1. Should be coming through on sector 2 very shortly. We need to see an improvement from George now. Need to see an improvement on sector 2. We haven't. Really got to push this guy harder. Is he going to improve? Not at all. Not at all. And I don't think we've got time to bring him round for another lap. But we've definitely not got time to bring him through for another lap. That's a shame. 13th though, it's not the worst it could have been. Certainly not the best, but 13th's a decent place to start. It does put us above the sponsor's objective. We just need to hold that. Also, the benefit of not being in Q3 is that we do get free choice of tyres for the race, and that could help us immensely, I think. So there we go. We've the biggest loser really is Hulkenberg or Raikkonen. They're the ones who are outside, but it's mostly what you'd expect to see at the top there. As you can see, we've lost Hulkenberg, Sainz, Raikkonen, Norris and Russell, Hamilton, Leclerc, Vettel. No real surprises there. No real surprises in there at all. We've got the 2 Red Bulls, we've got the 2 Ferraris, 2 Mercedes, 2 Haas, a Racing Point and a Renault. And we will sim qualifying because we don't need to see the session we're not involved in. So let's just let's see where this shakes out. I'd expect Vettel or Hamilton on pole, probably Vettel. Not many purple sectors going up there, I don't think. Looks like it's going to be Vettel, Hamilton 1, 2, Leclerc, Bottas. Oh, unless Hamilton can pull it out of the back. He hasn't quite. It's very close though. Very close at the top there. It's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be an interesting race. 0.045 of a second separates the top 2. If Hamilton can get off the line quickly, he can probably see this one out. So let's have a look at where we are at in terms of... Oh, I'm pretty cool with good fashion sense. That's nice. Let's see what we can do with strategy here. I feel like... we're going to want to put both the tyres on there, although maybe that's the way forward there, because we are going to do at least one run on softs, I would feel, with George, and we'll just go with the 2 tyre knowledges there. Car setup wise, we have got 35 laps on the race. Tyres, what are they saying? 19, 27. I feel like we're going to start on the super softs with George, and then I might try something stupid / stupidly bold. Let's see if we can get Kubica all the way to the end without a stop, because it's not going to make us stop. Like, we don't have to stop because this game doesn't understand the 2 tyre choices, the 2 tyres needed rule. It does mean we can't push with Kubica at all, really, but maybe there's a trick here somewhere. So confirmation of the grid: Vettel from Hamilton by 0.045, Leclerc only 0.2 behind the leader, Bottas, Grosjean, Verstappen, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Gasly, Perez, Hulkenberg, Sainz, Russell, Raikkonen, Norris, Giovinazzi, Kubica, Albon, Stroll, Kvyat, Lance Stroll. That's scary for bad form. Alright, 5 lights and away we go for the Dubai Grand Prix. There we go. And we need George to really push early. Really push on early here. There's a few cars on the mediums. Raikkonen's on the mediums. He's got to be an outside shout to win the whole thing, you would think. Purely because of just how good Raikkonen is at managing tyres. He could get those all the way to the end for sure. I'm not sure about Kubica doing it necessarily, but Raikkonen can almost certainly find his way to the end. George Russell's found his way up into 12th. He might steal 11th here. Not quite. Kubica's come through and stolen 11th. There we go. Robert Kubica going for it from the start there. And that's not expected, but we'll go with it. It looks like the mediums are really working early in this race. I mean, they will have a late race drop off, of course. Lando Norris as well, you can see, is up there in 9th. But we'll keep an eye on this, because this could have been this could be the strategy we were looking for all along. I need to take that off of auto, I think, because I want to be burning fuel. Do you feel like we could probably... I don't know why I can't... There we go. Push, push, push. Try and make him as many places as early on as we possibly can here. Because the more places we're making up right at the start, the better it's going to be for our final position, you'd think. Tyre temps are high, so we'll drop that down to neutral. Hope we can take some of the heat from the tyre there. Kubica's complaining he can't get past Russell, but I'm not really needing him to be honest. I just need him to hold station, because I think he'll pick up some positions during the pit stops. Russell, though, doing okay holding 10th. I think maybe we can put those back on auto now. And we'll speed up time a little bit, because if Kubica is going to find his way through, I'm not going to help him find his way through. I think that's counterproductive, as George Russell moves up into 9th very briefly. I think it's counterproductive doing that with Robert Kubica. And I think this is just a nice way to see the lap out. We are going to go to a medium engine mode with both our drivers. Someone got out. I don't know what happened there, but they've both got up into the points. And Raikkonen starting to look strong. I think Lando Norris may have had a slight error, but that's okay. That's perfectly fine. It's perfectly acceptable. We just need these guys to keep on trucking now. We need Russell to force his way through. We need Kubica to be the rear gunner. Really, he needs to defend. Daniel Ricciardo's gone off. That's going to help our race immensely. Doesn't cause a safety car, which is a winner there. And we're just going to keep pushing. I know Kubica wants to get past George. I know he does, but I think we need to let them race. Although in fairness, Kubica's right up on his gearbox, so let's allow him through. In fact, let's let them race now, because that gap is widening. It is widening up a little bit. George is going to come in for tyres at some point in the near future, you would think. 28 to go. And I expect George to kind of come alive. Got about 10% left on those tyres. I expect George to come alive very shortly. So that won't get us to the end, not quite. I'm going to do another couple of laps on those tyres, and then I feel like we can just about get the softs to the end. So we'll go past the pits one more time, which should be coming up very shortly. Kubica is gone. Thinks we'll get them 30. We'll get them 30. Right, recharge the battery. We'll do a very fast pit stop. George has lost a lot of time there with the tyres dying off. But Robert Kubica holding firm in 9th. Wouldn't think Lando Norris was going to pass him. George Russell was the first to pit, which is probably a sign. I may have pushed his tyres a wee bit hard. But it's fine, we'll see how this goes. Move back to Robert Kubica because it's going to be a while before George Russell catches up from where he is at the back. Perez, there you go, has got into the pits, and we'll start seeing some people start, looking like pitting at some stage. Looking at the guys above Robert Kubica now, I think the top two maybe can get in and out of the pits with a free pit stop here. I think that's very possible. Wouldn't be certain about Valtteri Bottas though. I think Valtteri would have to push harder, as Max Verstappen has some kind of problem with his car and ends up going into the pits to get that looked at. So it is all about Robert Kubica right now. All about Robert Kubica up into 6th, as Russell takes 16th off the pit rotation there. Doing well. We're halfway through the race, and Robert Kubica's got the mediums just about working. Just about. Leclerc is the big threat there because he probably can make up that 6-second gap. George Russell needs to take some heat out of those tyres. Kubica moves up into 4th with Sainz and Hamilton due to pit. Hamilton's coming, he's had a clear pit stop. Bottas though, I don't feel like Bottas can hold us off. There we are, we're in 2nd. Up into 2nd now. That is perfect, that is ideal. And okay, we're 15 seconds behind Lewis, but it's going to be a while before our tyres start to drop. And I think, strategically speaking, we might have just played an absolute blinder here. Let's move Kubica onto overtake mode. We're doing okay. We are doing okay right now. Take them both off of auto for a second because I need them to start making that work. George Russell's got himself up into 10th. That is a good start. Kubica has issues with his engine. How bad's it looking? Could be worse. We're going to head into the red zone before the end of the race. Looking at the brakes there. Oh, those brakes are a risk. It's going to be touch and go. It's going to be touch and go. Charles Leclerc 6 seconds behind Robert Kubica. We are just going to have to hope that engine holds out. I think it will. I hope it will. George Russell's 2 seconds behind Danny Kvyat. But a podium should secure us 9th place in the Constructors this year, you would think. I wasn't overly hopeful going into the race. I didn't necessarily think we were going to do big damage. In terms of the Constructors, there is a 9-second gap between us and Kimi, who should be not overly faster than us. We're going to bring Russell's engine mode down because it just feels wasteful right now, and I'm going to want him to push. I'm going to have to risk Kubica to the end. I cannot risk bringing him into the pits, because if I bring him into the pits, he is going to come out somewhere behind George Russell, and that wouldn't be ideal. He's already losing time to Charles Leclerc. And that won't help at all. Quite frankly, with 6 laps to go, I think he can hold on to 3rd at the very least. I don't think we're going to go out of the points entirely with him. which is very comforting as George Russell comes through back onto zero or equal fuel, level fuel, I should say. Come on, George. Let's get across that line. Robert Kubica still got a 2.5 second lead over Leclerc. It's not ideal. He is going to get past by the end. That's almost a certainty. But we'll see. I need to be able. Well, Kubica's got some ERS left as well. He does have ERS left. He can use it to defend if he needs to. It is down to a 2-second gap right now with 4 to go. Let's just see if that gap closes up. It is, but it's not closing as fast as you think. And George Russell's gone up into 8th. George Russell's having a blinder on the quiet. Absolute blinder. He should have enough fuel. He feels like he needs to be in hybrid mode, which is interesting. Kubica, though, is going to have to defend. He is going to have to defend heavily against Charles Leclerc. He's the only driver on the track not to have pitted. We are going to have to put the engine mode up. And we are going to have to put your tyres up to neutral. And ignore that warning, because Kubica needs to open that gap up. He is going to burn his ERS down the straight. That's what we like to see. Get himself above a 2-second gap. That is the way forward. There are 2 laps to go. We've lost sight of Lewis Hamilton. He's half a minute ahead of us. But Robert Kubica here could be playing a blinder. 7% left on the tyres. We are going to have to conserve the tyres a little bit. 7 seconds back to Bottas. To see how this goes, because he is going to have to try and save those tyres. We're on the final lap. Kubica's coming through now. Those tyres are dead. They are dead tyres. Bottas has found a way through. I don't know where Bottas found 7 seconds from, but he's found 7 seconds from somewhere. And now we've got to see, can Kubica bring this home? Nothing left on his tyres, but 5th and 7th would be a really good finish for us. Would be a really good finish. 4th and 7th would be even better. Come on, Robert. Can you do this? Can you get this through? Get it across the line. Into 4th. Have we got it? We've done it. We've got 4th place. Unbelievable performance from Robert Kubica. Let's join George Russell, because we've not seen him all race. He's just coming across the line into 7th. I don't know how I did that without stopping. I don't know how we did that without a pit stop. But we've somehow pulled it off. Robert Kubica brings it all the way home. And I do feel a bit sorry for George Russell, actually, because I think if we'd gone mediums with him as well, he probably could have won that eventually. So let's let it do a save, and we'll find out how we look in the standings. That's definitely taken us off the bottom of the standings chart, I think. I didn't really pay attention to the Alfa Romeo results, although it looks like Giovinazzi's got himself some points in there. That's not too bad. So, where are we looking right now? Scrutineering. We've passed it. I've got no concerns there at all. Kubica gets himself 12 points. George Russell gets himself 6 points. And that's as good as a second place finish. Danny Ricks is the only non-finish, and Nico Hulkenberg finishing very far behind. Very off the pace there. That's disappointing. 8 places down. Max Verstappen finishing 16th as well. He had an issue. 10 places down on where he started. Robert Kubica up 13. He's got to be the driver of the day today. And there's our Drivers' Championship. Robert Kubica with that goes into 5th in the drivers' standings. George Russell moves up into 10th. I can't imagine we're going to stay there, but we'll do our best. And that puts us up into 3rd in the constructors. Force India still yet to score a point, but you know, they're averaging 2 points a race. Toro Rosso feels like maybe we can finish 9th, which at least avoids relegation if I've got it switched on, which I think I do. So yeah, that's been us for this weekend. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. I've enjoyed finishing 4th. I didn't think that was going to happen. But yeah, until next time, hit the like, hit the subscribe buttons if you haven't already. My name is Chasing Lamely, and I will see you all next time. Have a good one.